We are conducting this Saturday learning session today on the broader subject of company law, being the third Saturday of the month. On the first Saturday, we are taking up some topic related to the broader subject of income tax. On the second Saturday, we are taking up some topic related to the broader subject of GST law. Third Saturday, company law. And fourth Saturday on behavioral aspect and office working culture. Today, under the company law broader topic, we will be taking up the trending topic these days of the company's compliance felicitation scheme 2026, which has been introduced by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs to facilitate the companies to file the forms which have been pending since long, and for some other conveniences which the companies would require with respect to ease of doing business. Companies are of various types. Some companies are very large, some companies are medium size, whereas some companies are very small size or family run businesses under the corporate setup. In these businesses, when the returns are not filed or compliances are not done, then there is a late fees or additional fees apart from the normal filing fees. This additional fees has been made more stringent with effect from 1st of July 2018. And now from 1st July 2018, an additional fees of rupees 100 per form per day shall be applicable without any upper ceiling limit. Usually when an additional fees is imposed, a ceiling limit is also fixed, that such additional fees of 100 rupees per day shall not exceed, say, 50,000 rupees or whatever upper ceiling limit may be imposed. But with effect from 1st July 18, no upper ceiling has been prescribed for such additional fees. That is, with effect from 1st July 2018, normal filing fees shall be applicable as well as additional filing fees of rupees 100 per day per form. If a company does not file 4 forms, then 400 rupees per day is applicable. And if 4 years elapse since the company has not filed such forms, then for the 4th year, 400 rupees into 365 into 4 would be the additional fees. For the 3rd year, 400 into 365 into 3. Second year, 400 into 365 into 2. And 4th year, 400 into 365 into 1. So these become prohibitive. And the company, either the paid up capital is eroded or the company is not in a financial position to pay the same, and the willingness of the company to continue as such is abolished. The company ceases to function, and this does not help the economy in any way. With this aspect in mind, the government has come out with the company's compliance felicitation scheme 2026. This scheme shall be applicable from 15th of April. Today being 18th April, it is applicable from 15th of April 2026 and shall be in force up to 15th of July 2026. In this period, any company which has not been able to file the relevant forms is at liberty to file such forms by payment of normal fees and additional fees to the extent of only 10%. That is, additional fees shall be waived to the extent of 90%, and only 10% of the additional fees shall be required to be paid by the company, apart from the normal filing fees. The filing of fees is governed by Section 403 of the Companies Act 2013. This scheme has given three types of facilities to the companies. First, being the filing of forms which the companies have not filed, which we discussed just now. Second is, if a company is not working and does not intend to work for as such for further some period of time, it can get itself declared as a dormant company and continue to remain a dormant company till it wants to get itself converted into an active company. Until that time, it may continue with minimal filings. For getting this company declared as a dormant company, the company will have to file an e-form MSC1 under Section 455 of the Companies Act 2013, and only half of the normal fees shall be payable by the company because of this company's compliances felicitation scheme. That is, by paying only half of the normal fees, the company will be able to get itself declared as a dormant company. Further, if a company wants to get itself strike off from the register of companies, it may file Form STK2 and pay only 25% of the normal filing fees and get itself struck off from the register of companies, of the registrar of companies. That is, three types of facilities are given. One, filing forms with only normal fees plus 10% of additional fees, that is 90% of additional fees is waived off. Second, to get itself declared as a dormant company under Section 455 by paying only half of the normal fees, or to get itself struck off by filing Form STK2 by paying only 25% of the normal fees. This scheme is, as discussed earlier, applicable from 15th of April 2026 to 15th of July 2026. With respect to further details about this scheme, there are various forms under the Companies Act. Not all forms can be covered under this scheme. Only 18 forms are covered which can be filed under this scheme by taking the benefit of 90% waiver of additional fees. Out of these 18, 10 forms covered under Companies Act 2013 and 8 forms covered under Companies Act 1956 are there. The list is given elsewhere. Those contained in Companies Act 2013 include MGT 7 and its variants, AOC 4 and its variants, ADT 1, FC 3 and FC 4. With respect to Companies Act 1956, the various forms are Form 20 capital B, 21 capital A, 23 AC and its variants, Form 66 and Form 23B. We need not go into the details of these forms and why these forms are required. But these are the forms which are generally required by companies to be filed on an annual basis or time to time. The third aspect with respect to companies' compliances felicitation scheme is the applicability of the scheme. The scheme is applicable to all companies except following 5 types of companies. 1. Companies against which final notice of strike-off has been issued under Section 248, which was earlier Section 560 of Companies Act 1956, which is now Section 248 of Companies Act 2013. If a final notice for strike-off has been issued by the registrar for that company, then such company cannot avail the benefit of Companies Compliances Felicitation Scheme 2026. Secondly, companies which have filed application for striking off their name from the register of companies. If an application has been filed, then also it cannot take benefit under CCFS 2026. Companies which have already filed for obtaining dormant status under Section 455 of the Companies Act 2013 before the inception of this scheme are also not eligible to claim benefit of CCFS 2026. Further, companies which have been dissolved pursuant to a scheme of amalgamation or reconstruction under the Act will also not be able to file because they have already been amalgamated or absorbed by some other company. And fifth is vanishing companies, that is, those companies which have vanished cannot reappear by taking the benefit of CCFS 2026. The fourth point is the manner of payment of normal fees and additional fees. In this respect, it has been already made clear and discussed by us that for filing of forms, normal fees shall be applicable as well as additional fees, but additional fees shall be waived to the extent of 90% and only 10% of additional fees shall be payable and 100% of normal fees shall be payable. With respect to companies who are applying for getting the status of a dormant company under Section 455, they will have to file one form EMSC1 and a fees of only 50% of the normal fees. Those companies which want to strike off by filing form STK2, they can pay only 25% of the normal fees and get their name removed from the register of members. The fifth point, which is relevant for this scheme, is that when a company pays such fees, normal fees and additional fees, or 50% of normal fees or 25% of normal fees, as the case may be, then automatically it gets an immunity from any penalty that may be imposed by the Companies Act 2013 under Section 403, Section 92 and 137 of the Companies Act. So this is about the Companies Felicitation Scheme 2026. It is a welcome step in the right direction, and companies who want to claim benefit, who have not filed their forms or want to get their name struck off or want to obtain the status of dormant company, can take the benefit of Companies Compliance Felicitation Scheme 2026 at a lower fees and continue to do business with ease. Thank you. If anybody has any question, they can ask about the same.
Sir, which are the 4 forms you have mentioned in starting? For 4 years we have to file.
4 forms which have to be filed.
Yes, sir. Continuously 4 years you have mentioned in starting.
Any form.
Okay.
Any form which is required to be filed annually. which the company has not filed. That can be filed by them, and the relevant forms which have been there, they are given, there are 18 such forms which are covered by a company compliance felicitation scheme. Out of these 18, 10 forms are comprised of Companies Act 2013 and 8 forms are comprised of Companies Act 1956. They are MGT 7 and its variants, AOC 4, which is also an annual filing, and its variants of AOC 4. There are about 6 variants of AOC 4 related to XBRL, NBFC, Ind AS, ADT 1, and so on. These forms can be filed. समझ लीजिए आपको बोली बोलना चाह रहे हैं Anybody else who would like to ask any question?